welcome back to BSG. Our next run is going to be Ghost of Tsushima's. In the director's cut, it's going to be Iki Island, New Game Plus on the PlayStation 4, run by Aeshmah. I asked him his name and I totally forgot exactly how to pronounce it, so please do introduce yourself later as well. And your commentators as well, of course.
No worries, you got it absolutely right. Yeah, hello everyone. I think if you've been keeping tabs on this marathon, you've probably seen the three of us a couple of times already. But just to make sure, who are you two?
My name is Mish LWD.
And I am Kellertier.
And we're actually playing Super Onimusha Hills, the Evil Rising 3 Part 5, the Iki Island expansion.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So if that doesn't make any sense to you, you probably have some runs to catch up on. Anyway, before we start with the run, there actually were a couple of donation incentives. So if our host could go ahead and tell me the language, the difficulty, and if we are playing in black and white in the Kurosawa mode or not. Let's start maybe with the difficulty.
All right, let's start with the difficulty. There was easy and the lethal one, and guess what? It's the lethal one, the one-shot mode.
Nice. So we basically fell into my trap god because that is the mode I always play in anyway, so okay.
Then for the language, English is just eking it out, so it's going to be in English. Yes.
All right, then we're going to switch it back.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, got that done. And then are we going to be playing in black and white?
It was an incentive to meet, and we met it, so it's gonna be black and white.
All right, it's Kurosawa mode. Well, this is gonna be interesting because I haven't played in this one for a long while, so it doesn't change too much in the game. It changes nothing other than makes it black and white. However, if you know the game a little bit, you know that the enemies have different glints on their attack, telling you if you can only parry or only dodge attacks with a blue and red glint specifically. And since it's all black and white, we won't see that. So good luck me, I guess. Anyway. With that out of the way, I guess let's sail to an island and rid it of some enemies. Well, shall we? So I'm gonna talk to this guy.
Are you sure about this, Lord Sakai?
Well, I hope so.
The island's no place for a samurai.
I guess it isn't. Anyway, let's get this run going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Make for the northwestern sea.
Now, as every great speedrun starts, it does so with a 1-minute unskippable cutscene. So I guess enjoy the ride over.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling? Are you ready for this? Are you ready to, liberate an island?
Yep.
Of,
Ready to ride some horse?
Zombie Mongols, not really, but maybe. I mean, we may have some fog going on there.
There's some creepy stuff.
We also have to find some people, and
There was also some no sprinting at the start, right?
yeah, exactly. We are not allowed to sprint at the start
thing
because we just shipwrecked, so we're not feeling too hot
Yeah.
at the beginning here.
Jump around like a
So
frog.
we've been constantly been drawing parallels between our games and seeing things just lining up, and it's been hilarious.
Yeah, it's been
Hence,
awesome.
Super Onimusha Hills, the Evil Rising 3 Part 5, the Iki Island expansion.
Right.
I hope you made it ashore.
God, I need to write that down.
That will be a good one.
So anyway, we
Yeah,
can't
so-
run at the moment, so our movement is a little bit toned down. But we can start rolling it because that is so much more convenient than just walking, right? I mean, if you are heavily injured, you just roll everywhere.
Right.
That just makes
Roll it out.
sense.
You know?
That's what I do when I get a paper cut.
Just roll around on the floor,
Yeah.
backwards
Keep on
long
rolling.
jump into the hospital,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
go on the
go.
highway.
Speedrun strats.
In the games as they are in life. Nice. So anyway, we just have to make our way through this little cave here in order to finally make our way to the proper introduction of Iki Island. And I would say it is absolutely beautiful because I always do that because it is. It still is in black and white. Maybe a slight bit less so because it is a very colorful island actually. You know, see all these the vegetation all over the place and the different colored trees and whatnot. But I guess you can still make it out.
The text below commentary from certain people is
Fort
yellow.
Sakai isn't far. I should see if anyone is
I think you can toggle that off and on in the option settings, which color it is. We're actually coming up on our first little bit of RNG here because we are basically looking for our horse at the moment because he is our very best friend. He's not our only friend, just to make sure here. But obviously it will be faster if we can travel on horse. So we are trying to find the boat which capsized on the way here. And while we are running around the beach, we may get into a fight by a patrol. I think I can. No, that's just the
hard to
bush.
see.
That is not an enemy. That's just a bush.
just a
I
fog.
didn't
Okay.
track back then. But what's even worse is there are some boars over there, and they're actually worse than the normal enemies because they are quite relentless. They will chase after you for quite a while. Yeah, there we go. All right, I've been spotted. Well, spotted. Even if I fight these animals, I still count as in being a fight, so I can't interact with the next quest trigger. So when I reach this
that brought me
boat,
here.
I might have to actually go ahead and throw a
Where are
smoke
you,
bomb
boy?
in order to get rid of the aggro, so to speak, and interact with the quest trigger. So let's see here.
Captain of my boat.
Yep. Oh yeah, there it is. All
I
right.
know the threats. Nobu survived.
So luckily the boars were far enough behind me that I actually got out of the fight.
Where did you run to, boy?
Anyway, we found some horse tracks, so obviously, probably our horse is still alive. So let's follow them. You would actually normally supposed to, follow the tracks up this hill and a little bit around where the horse actually, walked. Instead, since we know where the next quest trigger is, we're just gonna run over this hill and, cut that distance a little bit short. You can kind of aim for these rocks on the upper left there. There is a bush to the right of it, and that is basically where we want to go right now.
And you may notice while sprinting a bunch, every now and then Aeshmah will do its tiny little dodge forward, which will just reset your stamina
Sound.
back to full for some reason.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense
Yeah.
because there is an
No,
invisible stamina
needs
bar
me.
basically whenever you sprint, and once it runs out, well, Jin has to walk a short while before he is able to sprint again. However, if you, as Glitcher just said, just dodge for a bit, it automatically refills for some unknown reason, and we're just good to go again.
Nobu trampled them. Good work, boy.
Yeah, that was a little bit of bad RNG right there because the second enemy didn't get terrified and run away, so I had to take care of him myself. I will explain the terrify mechanic a little bit later on. Just know for now that he should have run away because
Remember
he's
that trip
scared
from
of us
before?
because you're just such a
Where you charged the
badass
Mongols?
samurai,
Let's try that.
setting
yeah.
his friend ablaze. I mean, if I were to set me on fire, I guess you would run away, right?
Yeah, probably. I might just panic or something. As well.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe the same thing, just run
Yeah.
away as fast as you can. I don't want nothing to do with that guy anymore.
Shout out to our good friend and speedrunner Bad RNG as well.
Someone's in trouble.
We have a runner around named that,
Right. Oh, stop it, stop. Oh, wow. Okay, I get Oh, this never happened before.
It's in the marathon. So
What the hell?
Yep.
So normally how this is supposed to go is that you just run all of them over with your
That's
horse.
the last of them.
But for some reason, I just didn't get to that archer quickly enough, and he shot me down.
Yeah.
I have never seen that happen, ever.
okay.
So I guess it's a legitimate marathon run now.
Yeah,
I
there
mean,
you go.
Nice,
You
nice.
gotta have a little bit of variety,
You know.
spice up your runs.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
sure thing.
Anyway, obviously that's a little bit of a time loss right then and there, but we still managed to finish out the first main quest out of 7 of the Iki Island expansion. So we are on our way, to get this run done, I suppose. So what we are supposed to do now is to ride up to Sakai Fort, which is basically the main enemy stronghold at this point. It actually belonged to our father and his men, like way back in the day. Now it has been over by the enemies, the invading Mongol forces, and Jin wants to check up on that. So we're actually supposed to go there, and story-wise, we're supposed to get captured there, and the story progresses. However, what I'm gonna do is, if I can find where I need to go in this black and white madness here, that works. I'm gonna activate a quick travel point, the Deer Sanctuary. And if you guys would be so kind as to, there we go, kill me, we will actually warp up to that fort. Because as it turns out, if you opt to go to that fort, the enemies pull a little bit of trickery on you and capture you anyway. However, the trigger for this death warp, so to speak, is so large around the fort that you can just go here and die, and it works basically the same way.
It's faster.
Yeah.
Gotta go fast.
Absolutely. Now another bit of RNG coming in, because now that we've been captured, we lose all of our items, but we immediately get them back from this chest right here. However, we're not getting all of our things back, because apparently the Mongols took a couple of things. However, it is random what they take from you. So I basically now lost a random amount of my arrows, of my bomb and whatnot, and depending on what I lost, this run can either go really fast or just a little bit slower, because I don't have the necessary resources for the next couple enemy encounters. I don't know that yet because I also can't
Because
check
of your father.
without,
Give me a hand with
losing a
this
little bit of
gate.
time. So it will be. I will basically notice it in the next
When
fight
will
or
the
so.
other samurai get
Can
here?
retrieve your
Other
items
samurai?
within the
I
amount of
didn't
time
tell
that you
anyone.
reserve.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
Not even
there
since
are
Aeshmah.
merchants where you could go and
father
buy stuff.
killed at this
However,
No.
they are
ambushed in the
very
canyons.
inconveniently
So
placed
you were
for a
there with
speedrun on Iki Island because there's basically only one merchant on the whole island, and he is
There's a
way
ravine
out of our
across
way
the
to get him. I think you
island.
even have to do a whole side quest before he unlocks for some reason.
far
Theoretically,
away
once
was
we
in
have
the
cleared
cover
a
of
certain main quest on Iki Island, we could
imagine
teleport
that.
or fast travel back onto the
Sometimes
main
I
island and
can't
go to a
either.
merchant there. But again, it would just be a time loss. I mean, now that I think about it, in certain circumstances, it might actually be faster if you absolutely do have no bombs anymore to just go ahead and do that and stack up again.
Because bombs are faster way to kill enemy,
So.
right?
A
Yeah.
way faster
Way
way,
faster.
actually.
Yeah, so that kind of builds into the terrify thing we were
Yeah.
mentioning earlier on,
Because the-
whereby we have a bunch of things equipped that make enemies really scared and just drop their weapons and run away. Some of that is when you light enemies on fire, and some of that is when you kill enemies.
It basically depends on the armor set that you have equipped, especially or specifically where the ghost armor, because it has a built-in perk that whenever you kill an enemy, you have a chance, as you just said, to terrify one, and then we just load it up with passive increases of that percentage chance. So at the end of the day, it's about a 80 to 90% chance whenever I kill an enemy that another one runs away. 80 to 90% chance, there still is some RNG left because it is not a 100% chance. So another basically skill that you have to develop as a runner of this game is to adjust to this little bit of RNG in a run, where okay, that I kill this enemy, how many other enemies ran away when I did, so who do I need to chase down, do I need to scan the battlefield to see where some leftovers are, and so on and so forth. And obviously, that can save or lose you time. So, yeah, it's a little bit up to the RNG gods at the moment.
Because the first set was like everything you did with a sword, and if they stretched Khan, if they were like more developed, it was like the bombs were additionally completed, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like in the very first iteration of the speedrun, we did most of our fighting with the sword until the New Game Plus category got introduced, or rather New Game Plus got patched into the game because it wasn't there at the beginning. And people at that point were like, oh, okay, it's like around about this time we take all our equipment into New Game Plus and stuff like that. So it's going to be this and this time. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's try out some new strategies. Let's see what else we can do instead of just sword fighting. And then I came up with this whole bomb throwing thing and just terrifying the enemies left and right. And it worked out really well. It brought the time down a lot. Now, the sad thing apart is that I really do love the sword fighting and the general melee fighting in this game. And since we're not basically never going to do that anymore, or very rarely, it saddens my heart a little bit because I am starting to be a little bit tired of just running around and throwing bombs, because I've done this run, or rather different categories of this game in various marathons at this point. And I kind of want to get back into the sword fighting, kind of, eventually.
Because it is a samurai game, right?
Yes.
You need to
Yes.
use your sword.
I mean, that was like one of the things that I think a lot of people were a little bit dissatisfied with this game, because it was marketed as this huge samurai game, this huge world and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it turned out it was a little bit more than a ninja game at the end, because you became the ghost of Tsushima, and he is not a very honorable samurai anymore. Basically, he is at odds with the samurai code at one point in the main story, which is going to be a huge plot point if you play the main game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can still, play as a samurai in a way, of course. But, yeah, you have all these tools at your disposal, like the kunai, like the bombs, smoke bombs, when you set your sword on fire and stuff like that. It's not exactly samurai-like, I want to say it.
No.
Anyway, we're just basically riding to the next quest trigger. Well, we met Tenzo a little bit earlier, who is going to be our new best friend on this little island here. He will try and introduce us to the raiders living on this island, so we may be able to build up a force to fight back against the Mongol invasion here.
Jin from Yarikawa. Didn't think you'd make it.
Up until now, it is a lot of just, running around, hitting certain quest triggers because, they have to build up the story a little bit here at first before we can get into more of the fighting. Obviously, if you're not following the critical path, you can do all these side quests around the island and already start liberating certain forts and little villages. But, it's a speedrun. I'm not going to do any of that. We just follow the critical path to its end and nothing else.
Ever since the Sakai invasion,
Face down
samurai
as
are
less
slightly
as possible,
popular
showdown
than
as less as
venomous
possible.
snakes.
The Sakai invasion.
The butcher
I mean, it just takes time and we don't have to do it. What does it have to do in a speedrun?
Exactly.
Correct. Yep.
We showed them, but not before losing out of good people.
From what I heard,
So you have
Neither
these
side
dialogue
was
choices at
There's
certain
some
points
truth to that.
in the game. They do absolutely nothing
never
other than
seen
giving you a
great
little
blood.
bit of a different
There's a hidden entrance to the stronghold
discussion
ahead.
going on there, but they actually have no impact on
Found the
anything that's
entrance.
happening in
Let's
the
see
game.
how
Actually.
good you are with that blade, samurai.
Okay, try this. Setting this guy on fire. Shot right at these guys. Like that guy. Terrifies this dude. And that should be everybody.
You're not
There we
too
go.
sick to fight.
Okay, that was pretty good.
Pretty fast.
we're not getting in this way.
Now you saw me actually use my sword there. If I can manage it, I don't want to use my sword like ever because it is the slowest option. However, as long as I have the I forgot what it's called again. Basically the some flaming oil. I can set my sword ablaze, and that
Sometimes
also
I
counts
hear
as
that
fire
you
damage again. And as we established
Bible
earlier,
something?
if I set enemies ablaze, that also has a
my
chance to
own
tire
thoughts.
for enemies, making them flee. And if I kill that enemy, obviously that has another chance to make enemies flee. So it just
voice.
compounds on itself with all
I
these
see why
different
the
effects that
samurai
we have
never
going.
found this hideaway of yours.
Furthermore, if I set my sword ablaze, enemies cannot block my
Let's hope
attacks
that
anymore,
holds
so
for
that
the
also
Mongols.
helps me in the melee fights too.
There's
So
always a way.
it's just a very nice tool to
Samurai
have in your
to
arsenal.
see shit.
Now coming up is
pirates
actually
have to
the
mug off?
first and only skip that we have found so far in any of the
trick?
main
I could
game
use
runs.
one of those.
It harkens back a
was a
little bit
gift.
to the All Shrines category that was a little bit of a miscellaneous category that we had going on, so we knew about the mechanics of this. So let's see if we can actually get that. Oh, nope, that is not how we do that. I actually forgot to throw the bomb, because this is a little bit finicky, but, probably starting to lose a little bit of time here, but I still want to show that off, because it is a new thing. It hasn't been shown up in the marathon yet. So throw the bomb, jump after it, and there we go.
There we go.
Nice.
Very nice.
So otherwise you would have to, climb up this cliff and go all around until you're able to get here. But with that, we just throw the bomb, and when it explodes against the cliff, it basically propels us upward a little bit, making us save that time.
I'll get us through here.
Okay, while we make our way over to the Raiders' stronghold, our lovely host, do you have
How did you
anything for
join
us
up
to
with
tell?
Fune?
We enjoyed the
I
hospitality.
do
of
indeed.
Sakai.
We have a
Fort
25
Sakai.
euro donation by Kirthar saying, "Yo, Aeshmah, good luck on the run."
Thank you, Kirthar. Kirthar is a speedrunner of a lot of 2D games, I want to say, especially Blazing Chrome and Cuphead. So if you fancy those games, give that guy a follow. But thank you for the donation, buddy.
When we step
Much
through that
appreciated.
gate, here we go.
I'd have to see it ESA Winter again. Kind of banking on it.
Tenzo?
All right, for now, we now are meeting up with all the other raiders. This is another, as I like to call them, walkie-talkie section, where you just walk around and have a talk with your fellow compatriots here. Yeah, not a lot of exciting things going on, so... What about you guys? How are you feeling about this? Any further parallels that you've spotted?
Those
So
people,
far,
all
only the
victims
fog.
of the eagle's
A lot of
poison.
bunny hopping.
Bunny
You know,
hopping,
A little
okay.
jumping all the time, you know.
You're running out of
I mean, it is
green
faster
grass.
than just walking
the
around.
draw.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a shirt you
yeah.
can strip down.
Not a bro force, though.
No, no, no.
A lot of jumping.
I mean, we have
Is
our
that your house?
They need more
Tenzo
than me.
bro,
It's
Ten
really
bro, going with
Yeah.
us here.
Tenzo bro.
Tenzo, get your ass
Yeah,
up here.
kinda.
Yeah.
He is a bit of a
Are
bro.
they fighting for freedom? Is that a
I
thing?
mean, they kind of do. They try to
yeah,
liberate the
yeah.
island,
There you
from the
go.
Mongols. So
Yeah,
I
that
guess
counts.
that's a thing. All right, nice.
Yeah. In the end, every video game is just the same, honestly.
I don't know, or even buy different video games. Like we're
Yeah,
playing the
it's-
same thing over and over
We
again.
play the
anyhow.
whole line of games that we now have established is a chain.
All created by that one single guy. He's probably a multi-billionaire by that point.
Yeah, exactly. Doing a good job,
Where's
though.
Tenzo?
Definitely is. I
So
mean,
when are the zombies coming?
More Mongol lies.
Yeah. Everything
I
can happen.
mean, you know, if you dive into the multiplayer mode of the game, you're not exactly fighting zombies, but you're fighting like demon Mongols, because the whole multiplayer thing is like these tales that you play, and obviously since it's a Japanese game, they are embellished a little bit with these onis in between them. So
Yeah, close enough. Close enough.
also, are we gonna be a serious or a funny samurai?
To forget, like getting blood stains on your favorite
funny
silver.
today.
Yeah, no, during practice we did funny. Should we do
Oh,
serious
we're
now?
serious, yeah.
All right, let's be a serious
the worst
samurai.
serious.
Stern faces.
Yeah.
Losing my father. We were in battle together.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. You didn't know.
That kind of ruined the mood.
You didn't know.
Bloody.
If you want to see the funny option, play the game yourself.
Good addition.
Okay, hit that guy. So we got a little bit more fighting going on here now. We are trying to make our way to the shore. Hello.
Take them. We
Can
can't
I
draw more
please
attention.
kill you? Yeah, that kind of works. Okay. There we go. And we kill all of them. Alright, so for some reason we now... Well, for a story reason, we have to liberate this boat right in front of us. But for some reason,
The fog is lifting.
none of the enemies that I'm gonna face now can be terrified. So I actually have to go ahead and kill all of them one by one. And since I can terrify them, the ghost armor is basically useless, because as we established earlier, we have loaded that out, or kitted that out, with a lot of, you know, percentage enhancing charms to increase the terrify percent. However, since that is useless, we are now switching over to the Sakai armor, which we have fitted out with a lot of damage increasing charms. So I can go ahead and hopefully one-shot each and every enemy on that boat, making the fights go by a little bit quicker. So basically, my goal here is to kill every single enemy that is on the boat and up these two cliffs there.
You saw a little trick there at the edge of the shore, doing an attack into the water, kind of sort of scoots you forward a bit.
Bit of a boost swim there.
Yeah.
You basically have to do that at a very specific angle to make it happen, because the attack comes out so fast that you basically carry that momentum into the water. It's, you know, it's a nice little, you know, time save basically.
So this armor is just for more damage.
So far.
See you there.
Clear the ship out.
Now it's actually random where these enemies spawn, so you know you have to make the best of it. Oh.
That was a big guy. Takes damage though.
Ow.
He's still not down.
No, that's another
Oh,
guy.
there's another one. The spawn behind.
That should be okay. As soon as you get this hallucination, you know that you've killed all of them down there.
When he died, were you too weak to save?
Yeah, there's like the sort of one of the Mongols, that evil person there, kind of keeps talking to you through weird hallucination stuff.
Try to get you to the wrong path.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. That should be everybody around here. Oh. That was one? Oh, I did.
Come on.
Unfortunate.
Where are you? Oh. Oh, come on, buddy.
Bad luck there.
Yeah, he was just halfway down,
Stuck on the ladder there.
yeah, halfway down the cliff there, and he couldn't get up anymore. And he was actually a melee enemy, but at certain points when the melee enemies can't reach you anymore, they start to throw shit at you. And yeah, I don't want to fight you in melee combat, because that can happen. Yeah, these are actually new enemies introduced with the Iki expansion. They are the Eagle Warriors, and they're basically the toughest melee enemies that you can fight. If we would be playing in color, you could actually identify them by their purple outfits, because obviously all the enemies are color-coded for your convenience. But since we are playing in Kurosawa mode, well, I just have to know which of these are the Eagle Warriors and which not. I mean, generally they're also way bigger than the others, so it's not that bad, but, you know, it's just a little bit more mental gymnastics that are going on, you know. Oh, that was close. However, it is very hard to differentiate who is friend or foe right now.
Hack and slash all the way.
Thank you for the donations to do this.
Much appreciated,
Really
everybody.
cool. It does look very interesting in black and white, though.
Yeah.
Let's find another way
It's got a
around.
certain style to it. Smoke bomb coming in handy there.
Yeah. Leave me alone. I just want to blow up your boat, please, and thank you. Alright. And now we just have to leave.
We do not need to kill anybody anymore.
Lower everything up.
Alright. And that is already the 4th out of 7 quests done. Time flies.
Doing good.
I mean, this is really one of the most stressful parts doing this particular speedrun category because, you know, you have to fight all these enemies, and especially if you're playing on lethal difficulty, you basically saw how quickly my life decreased whenever I got hit just a single time. So 2 hits and you're basically out of the picture and you have to redo the whole thing. It can lose you a lot of time. So it's a bit of a stressful part, but we got through it pretty good, so I am happy with that. And now that we have destroyed that boat, we will come back here and... wait, I have to go upstairs. Basically tell the people, hey, we destroyed, or... yeah,
Well done, Jin.
the ship blockade around the island. So we could now go ahead and resupply from Tsushima Island again. Now that we have done that, we are tasked with finally starting our assault on Fort Sakai. You know, the fort that we kind of wanted to go to in the beginning of the run, but then did the death warp thingy. Because, you know, we are now trusted by the other Radiants that tell me, hey, you know, just go to that fortress alone and rescue everybody inside. And I guess we just that much of a one-man army.
Yeah, just go on God
why
mode.
not?
Yeah. Know any other one-man armies in your games?
I mean, Frank is kind of a one-man army in Dead Rising.
I mean, all the bros, they always go at it alone, you know?
There you go, solo.
Unless
yeah.
you
The
play
bros work together
multiplayer.
as a team, you know, even...
Well, you're also working together as a team, but they send the
Yeah.
best one forward, I suppose.
Yeah, that's fair, that's fair.
Best gear.
And
I mean,
a lot of fire.
Yeah, a lot of firepower.
It is actually one of the main story points that Jin is heralded by basically everybody in-game as the best sword fighter on Tsushima Island, so it kinda makes sense in what he does. I mean, he still does a whole lot. Maybe even a bit superhuman-like, but, you know, at least it is grounded somewhat in the story that, yes, this guy can actually do whatever it is that he's doing in the course of the game. So it's a nice touch, I think. Because very often, you know, you have all these things that or the disconnect between gameplay and story that I always think is a little bit of a shame. So it's just nice for the story to actually acknowledge that.
Is this really happening?
Gonna take care of the prisoner?
Am I free?
Yeah.
Are you with Finette?
Terrifying looked like it came in handy there again.
Yep. Oh yeah, we can now terrify the enemies, and that is why I switched over to the ghost armor again.
You couldn't kill your father.
Now we're just gonna run through Fort Sakai, freeing all these prisoners, hopefully not getting interrupted by too many enemies. But let's see. Now we do actually have a lot of friends
Let's drive the Mongols from this
falling
place.
around us now, and I absolutely do not like them.
Yeah.
Because they tend to get into my line of fire, as you just saw there, so we have a lot of friends, but they barely are able to kill these enemies anyway, so are they really helping? Like, I mean, are they?
They're trying.
Yeah, they're trying them. But it's not good enough!
No.
Find a weapon and join me. At once.
Okay, just helping them out a little bit here.
By blowing them up.
Alright, I hope you guys can take care of the rest there. Because I actually helped you. Now this is a very interesting thing here, because this archer over here wasn't actually part of the fight. You know, he didn't know that we were coming. He was actually not able to get terrified, because in order to get terrified, you actually have to be part of the fight, so to speak. So as long as the enemy doesn't have any aggro on you, you know, speaking in RPG terms, yeah, the terrified just doesn't do anything.
The base is like divided in sections.
Help me.
Exactly. I mean, you can't just go ahead and you know, get everybody into a fight and then start with the terrifying them. So what is this fight right now? Where is the shaman? Looking for a shaman here. Oh, I guess the guys actually took care of it. All right.
Well,
That was a
neat.
little bit weird, but okay, I'll take it.
Take the fight to them.
So this armor is going to be used for just one little thing here.
This is it. Fight for your freedom.
Now this is the Kenzie Armor. It increases the amount of resolve that we get, the orbs in the lower left corner. And it has a specific loadout that if we do this, it basically refills all of my resolve in the lower left. It has a very specific charm loadout that we came up with just for this very specific jump right here. Because we actually do have a boss fight of sorts coming up. So obviously, I do want to have as much resolve as I can.
First fight over.
Yeah, I had a little bit of problem with that jump during practice. I don't know why. I've never had that much problem with it. But, you know, there's the first time for everything, I suppose. Okay, kinda starting to lose track of the enemies here.
So that is a sticky bomb. Those are really good. Stick on an enemy for a second, go boom.
Probably missed a couple enemies back here. Yeah, I did. Yeah, like I said before, you know, you have to basically mentally keep track of where all the enemies are and which might have run away and which, you know, your NPC companions have already killed. So it can be a lot from time to time to keep track of. And obviously, you want to, you know, kill them and then move onward and so on and so forth. But sometimes you just have to go for a high priority target and then just leave the front line behind, basically, and go for the guy in the back, stuff like that. But now we have our first duel coming up. It will be against Kunbish. He is the second in command to the Eagle, or the Mongol commander on the island, and we will absolutely wreck his face. Because we are allowed to use special techniques in the duels. And since we have full resolve now because of the Kensei trick, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Dance of Wrath, which shreds his health bar.
I will never be her shaman.
You can see that at the top of the screen, kind of barely, because, you know, black and white.
Where is your gratitude?
We deserve nothing less than death.
Right, there we go, and that was a duel.
Very nice.
Now, he isn't dead yet. We're actually supposed to run after him. You can see him groveling on the ground there. He will run over that bridge there into this building. However, we'll kind of cut him short by going through this window, over this, and then we are actually in front of him. So he is basically following us now, but he's still in front of us because throwing down these specific bombs down on us, even though he is behind us. And now we go through here, and he's in front of us again, and I'm confused.
So that's the Dead Rising thing that we also had, with the getting ahead of that, and then they're actually behind. And
game mechanics, how do they work?
yeah, it's great.
All right, we liberated Sakai Fort. Quest 6 is done, so let's tell Fune in the Raiders hideout about that. Now, we've done the thing that we set out to do, which is always nice.
Where's the samurai who freed us from Fort Sakai?
Yes, that is me.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah.
Jin from
Peace of
Yarikawa.
gratitude. That would be
Yeah.
nice.
You outdid yourself this time.
Now, the problem with our attack on Fort Sakai was that the
men
Eagle,
returned
you know, the
safe.
actual commander of the Mongol forces, wasn't actually there. So, we now are planning to basically lure out the rest of the Mongol forces to Kitafura village, where we will more or less make a sort of last stand effort. Hence the name of the quest, the Massacre at Kitafura village, alluding to the fact that there will be a lot of fighting going on here. So it's basically a lot of very short but many skirmishes as we set up our defenses. You can kind of see them in the wagons over there.
We got a good view up there.
While our defenses are being deployed, and then, you know, try and grind down the Mongol forces with some sort of
Get
guerrilla
people in
attack.
the most likely places. A few of us on horses can hold back.
And respond where we're needed.
And go back to the scary armor.
We need to cover a
And
lot of
wildlife.
ground. Where should we position the men?
I mean, it's basically a horror game, right? You're scaring away all the enemies,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but this time you are basically
Yeah, we have
the
become
villain.
the terror.
Yeah,
If they see something, they can signal us with those fireworks we took from the ship.
Set them off the moment your people see the invaders.
Then we ride in.
Like a plan.
Hide people
So we're
in the
kind
houses
of
and granaries.
investigating the landscape to see,
Terrified. And
The possible
and if the
options.
Mongols
Yeah,
don't get
yeah.
To ambush.
Have riders ready to
which
hit
also
their
kind of
front.
reminds me of the whole investigation from Dead Rising. Yeah, they're all
what would you do there?
looking at
The
these
moment
things and.
the villagers.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
We are finding all the connections here. It is all connected.
It's all one thing.
What? Who fell back?
It started here
Where we
in
can fall back.
I forgot which year this takes in. Like
We'll
1200
reinforce it
something?
with whatever we can
Yeah,
throw
this is the
together.
prequel to our whole.
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
This is where it all started, you know, with the soup that the eagle imbibed us with, and that is why we have all these
Get to the
hallucinations.
horses.
Because it kind of brainwashes you into serving her. You know, kind of like a zombie.
In a way.
You can take that into the afterlife, probably.
You know?
A group will stay to post
Anyway, it is now night. We are now gonna fight, and basically how this works is we will see these fireworks go off. That basically tells us, oh, there are some enemies coming from over there. Now this is all set. I know where the enemies are coming from. This is not up to RNG. So it's just a little bit of execution, but obviously it is RNG if I am able to hit the shots that I need to, and if the enemies are actually running away from me in terror or not. So there's obviously still a lot of RNG going on here now. Start so far. I think that was a friendly. Oh, they're actually coming already. Alright, that's good. I quickly took care of that. However, I couldn't really capitalize on that because I was at the wrong end of the battlefield.
Nice.
That's pretty good so far.
That's all of them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Easy pickings.
RNG.
That was
RNG
really
doing
good.
well.
That was really well.
She's enjoying.
So now with the horse charge, you also have the chance to terrify enemies when you tear through them. Because, you know, if you see a armored horse charging at you and it just barrels through all your bodies, that can be kind of scary for sure.
You've been busy.
Next fight will take place here. We go over there, throw bomb. Go over there, throw bomb. Come back here. Throw bomb at the reinforcements. Check if the shamans are still around. They are. Take care of them, and then more enemies are coming from this side. So we're just gonna push an explosive arrow, hit the eagle warrior. It kind of sets him ablaze, so he won't block my attack because he's kind of busy burning.
Yeah,
That's the last
that was
one.
that
got
fight.
in the way there.
For now,
You'll never
Quickly
forget.
pick up whatever we can from around here, but we need to refill.
The ground was soaked.
And then we have another short intermission here, and I guess we also have a donation.
Look what
We
cousin
do
Masa
indeed. There is a 40 euro donation by Lord Mouse saying, "Bro, is that Bro of Tsushima? Run by Brosma?
Let's go.
Now that's the run I didn't want to miss."
feeling all right?
Yes.
Thank you so much
you.
for that.
Keep
one.
moving.
I mean, we don't only have me here, we also have Bro LWD and the Bro
We'll hold back
chair
the
you know,
invaders as
sitting
long as
right
we
behind
can.
me. Bro.
Bro.
Oh, we're all bros around here.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
We had lookouts busy here.
Bro.
Might be an
Yeah.
ambush.
True.
Let's take a closer
True.
look.
That's actually his actual name.
Bro,
Yeah.
Norris.
I know.
Huh?
Likes to
Bro
take on a
Norris.
code name for you outside people there. Now the bro strikes with some pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I actually missed that. Oh wait, he's coming back. That's good. Okay, die. So a couple of our friends here got captured by these Mongols, so we are being all sneaky-like and trying to shoot them with poison arrows. Oh, it's kind of finicky to do. Did I miss somebody? I missed somebody. Who are you? Where are you? Okay, there it is.
Nice work, Jin.
I think I actually shot the wrong guy because I'm supposed to shoot the Eagle Warriors because, you know, they are a little bit more battle-hardened. But I couldn't identify him by his colors.
There are too many of them.
Because you're playing in black and white. I'm not used to this anymore.
Yeah.
Now, a fun fact is actually one of the earliest runners, John Shepard, now known as Ethos Bender, who actually was one of the first speedrunners of this game. He always started playing in Kurosawa mode. So the minute he got the game, he started playing Kurosawa mode. So he didn't actually know that some of the enemy's attacks are color-coded in blue and red. And the
Right.
game was ultra hard for him because of it. And only once he started switching to the color mode was like, hey, this is way easier now.
This is convenient.
We're actually doing a restart from checkpoint here because that piles all the enemies in this convenient getup there, so I can just go ahead and, you know, throw one bomb and kill a lot of them. Shout out convenience. Enemies? There's one. Okay, there is another shaman over there. He's dead. You are an enemy? I think that was everybody around here. Yeah, there was. Okay, so we can continue on. Throw another bomb at these guys. Start to fire for the rest of the guys over here, but you can already see, they're kind of afraid of us. They're already running away, and these guys too. And now for this part, you basically just have to run around, and all of these will get terrified in just a moment here. Now you can kind of see there, and they're just falling to the ground. They don't want anything to do with us anymore, and that takes care of the 6 out of 7 quests of the main story. Actually, on to the final quest already.
Yeah, doing pretty good. A horse being very good.
He was a very good boy.
brave.
He charged through these guys without a second question.
Question, he's petting the horse in the cutscene, but can you normally pet the horse?
No, you
Oh,
cannot.
that's too bad.
You cannot pet this, but you can pet a lot of other animals, actually. There is specifically on Iki Island, there are some animal shrines where you can go and pet some wild cats, and I think even some monkeys, if I remember correctly.
Very good.
And some deer? Although now I'm starting to be confused if you can actually pet them or if I'm making that up, but you can do something with...
Oh, play the game for yourself to find out.
It's been a while since I've played it casually, and the whole Ghost of Tsushima community is probably up in arms right now. Hey, you can forget you, stupid.
I'm just gonna plug the game.
Yeah, definitely go ahead and do that.
Play
I
the
mean,
game.
it's a wonderful game to play. I really loved it casually. I still like it casually, even though, like I said before, I'm getting a little bit tired, I guess, of the speedrun. But more to that at the end of the run. So for now, we just have to go ahead and start the last quest, which will be the Blessing of Death.
Oh, that sounds ominous.
It does, right? Doesn't sound very good too. Like,
No,
it's like I don't know. Do I give the
Yeah,
blessing
I'll
of death? Do
pass.
I receive that?
Can you do both? Or is
Is it maybe a metaphorical thing? Where you
also
I
can-
mean, we will kill a lot of people, so I don't think it's that metaphorical, but it could be.
Maybe
I mean,
it's
that's
by killing a lot of people here, we bless the land with their deaths, making the land safe.
Well, it makes sense, But there's also all this physical.
We'll meet
What's
my
the word?
scouts.
Philosophical thing going on with you leaving your
When we
past a
attack,
little bit
I'll
behind
get
and
our attention.
making
You said
peace
she's
with what your father
Oh,
did
yeah.
to you, raising you.
With
There's a whole lot of
She
story
wants
going
to
on to
make
just
me
skip
one of her
over. So
shamans.
like these two
One of
that I
her
said,
followers at Fort
buy the game,
Sakai
play it
said she
casually.
wants
It's
to
wonderful.
Yeah,
But
good
she
time.
forced her
A lot of
poison
hours
on
in.
you. The sacred medicine
lot of
is
hours
poisonous
in.
the most. But her shamans use it as a rite of
While we're
passage.
just riding to
Are you
our
still
next quest
seeing
objective,
visions?
I think we have another duration to read.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, we do a 55 euro donation by Grumpmeister.
Oh, yo! Grump Roaster coming with a donation.
Well, he still had 11 deaths to pay from 4 from Double Double's Lost Kingdom run, so he did it right now.
Nice.
And also 4 characters for a name. How about we name our hero Kek W? Good luck on Iki Island, Aeshmah. I'm assuming this is about the Gumpel run. Yes, thank you very much
Yeah,
for that donation.
Grumpmeister will play Gumpel, a gunman story, if I remember correctly. A little bit later in the marathon. Will be very late, but it's a very wonderful one. I don't think a lot of you actually know that game, so it's very obscure. I don't think it even released in Europe or the West. I think it was Japan exclusive for some reason. So do stick around and watch that one. It's gonna be a treat for sure. All right, here the hallucinations are getting more and more intense, as now we can actually see the eagle. That is she. We are kind of supposed to fight her, but I can just, kite her around, and she basically does nothing. Also, sometimes when you stand around, she also just, circles you. It's just,
Are you gonna do the
I don't
thing
know.
you didn't practice here?
Yes. We're just waiting for this hallucination to finish. And then we're gonna die and restart the checkpoint, apparently. I mean, that worked. Because once again, it groups up the enemies nicely that I can just go ahead and, throw one bomb and hopefully take care of everybody around here. And that was pretty good. All right, nice.
Jin, what happened?
So there's a whole lot of story going on. We're trying to lay an ambush for the eagle and her forces in Senju Gorge, like over here. And it kind of backfired on us because the eagle already knew what we were up to because of reasons well, they are explaining the story, but not during the speedrun. So basically we have to try and rescue our forces now before they get overwhelmed by the Mongols. And that is basically the last couple fights we're going to do in the
I told her
speedrun.
about my father, how you ambushed us at Senju Gorge.
So she knew your father died there. Then she learned you joined our fight. Heard we were planning something big.
She's one step ahead. But we can still win this, Tenzo.
All right, there you can see the Mongol reinforcements.
The entire force is attacking.
I don't actually know how much bombs I have left. So let's just hope. 3?
3, I think 3.
Okay, that would be perfect amount to have. I think it actually is 3. Good catch.
That's spotted.
Now, if these guys would actually go...
Where are you? I know you're here. Face me.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
resource management is pretty important.
Yeah, because you don't can buy anything or craft anything along the way. You need to go pretty straightforward towards your objective, so it's nice to have a count.
Where is he? Oh, there he is.
That's the other word for Japanese. I'm dying here.
Yeah, I was looking for that guy. I just could not find him.
I'm scared.
Okay, this is very unfortunate RNG now because they were so far away. Apparently, I missed a bomb throw there. Who else is alive? A lot of people are still alive. No.
There we go.
Oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, this is another hardish section because we keep having these hallucinations, and whenever hallucinations happens like this, I will temporarily lose all of my resolve. And I use my resolve for, you know, things like healing myself or even reviving myself if I get downed. So while I am in this hallucination, I can't do any of that. So this, I am very vulnerable at the moment. And okay, this still worked out, so that's nice. So we just have another couple fights here. Basically, the whole premise is always we get into the fight, we get another hallucination by the eagle, and once that hallucination stops, we'll have to fight the rest of the enemies as we come back to reality. Now we'll have a look around for the shaman, see if I can identify him. Okay, he's over there. Because once I get out of this hallucination, I will be back on the battlefield. These enemies shouldn't have moved in the meantime, or at least the shamans rarely move, so I know where he is, so I can take care of him immediately once I get out of the hallucination. Now, we should be fighting the eagle right now, because, but it is really hard to do so because, you know, we don't have any resolve. So what I will do instead is I will just repeatedly throw sticky bombs at her, which just stuns her for a long while. It looks kind of goofy too. And we just wait for this dialogue to finish and, you know, Jin to come back to his senses.
Gotta love stun-looking bosses.
Yeah.
You all right? Yes. Keep fighting.
That is not the enemy that I wanted to attack there, Jin. I wanted to go for this guy. Thank you very much.
Good work. Keep
Okay,
hunting
that
for
is
the
that
eagle.
fight done. We have one more to do before the final boss fight.
How are
Guess
you
which one
holding
that
up?
will be.
I used to only hear her voice. Now I see her. Feel
Oh,
her
actually,
presence.
would have
Maybe
needed
being
another
here makes the
bomb.
visions
Well,
more
I don't need
intense.
the bomb. It will just make it convenient, but
Make it interesting.
guess we'll just do that instead. Shoot as many of these as we can before we get into the next hallucination. And then, okay, and throw bombs at her and while we do that, so I think we have the duration to read.
I will give you
I do indeed. I have a €3
And I will give
donation
you
by
cold
Nico
steel.
with a C18
Yo, bro with a C!
Proceed.
saying, "Hey Aeshmah, tell Aeshmah you are cute."
Aw, thank you.
take away your pain.
I'll send you to hell.
I was waiting for so long to put that out there.
Yeah,
Because I just love the bro with a C.
Bro with this.
And yes, we came up with a lot of bro names for other
Yeah.
speedrunners that
with a
we
lot
know.
of memeing fun
Oh,
surrounding
yeah.
Broforce.
We definitely had a bit of fun the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that last fight done, we are now off to the final boss fight of the Iki Island expansion. So time is kinda coming up-ish. It will probably take another 2 to 3 minutes.
Turn back.
But,
Too late now.
you know, just so you guys know over there, because obviously we're gonna fight the eagle now. However, this duel isn't that hard in a speedrun, because once again, we can just use the Dance of Wrath to completely shred her health pool.
You cannot defeat me.
Oh, I can. However, once we deplete about half of it, we will go into another hallucination like that. And my goal here is I have to parry one of her attacks, otherwise I will not get out of this. And there we go. That is that done. We will now have a little intermission going on here where we skip another cutscene. However, once I go back into the fight in just a moment, I will have a full resolve refill. So once I do, I can just go ahead and use the Dance of Wrath again and again and again to finish off the fight. And I've basically won at this point. Once more. Okay, that was the fight. As we generally do after this, we now have to compose a little haiku, because, you know, we are a bit of a poet too. We won't spend a lot of time, we will just mash through it and select the first couple options that come to our mind while we reflect on our father's death, you know, to make peace with all of that thing. So, you know, a little bit of silence while we do that. Time is coming up, by the way.
Hiding in darkness. My father's hand reaching up. Free at last from life.
And as soon as the title card, Blessing of Death, is displayed on screen, that will be time. And... oh, skip the cutscene. That would help. And... time. Alright, that was the Iki Island expansion, all the main quests, done on New Game Plus lethal difficulty. And yeah, I have been Aeshmah. This was my last run, my fourth one even, during this marathon. I've been also a lot around doing ultra commentary for the runs of these two lovely people. So, yeah, huge shout out to the Ghost of Tsushima Speedrun community. You are an absolute lovely bunch, especially Ali for, you know, being the captain through the ship of storms that sometimes happens in the community, keeping our heads straight. Huge shout out to Charlton_11235, who is a big rival for my records. I think he and Alkir, a well-known Horizon Zero Dawn speedrunner, are actually taking all my world records at the moment while I'm stuck here at this marathon. You know, I've been keeping tabs a little bit on them, and they have broken a lot of them because I think they found something new or something. So I have to go ahead and take a look at that while I show off the old strats here. Like, I think this was a 47-minute-ish run. My last PB was like a 46:30-ish or something, so not that far off, but Charlton beat it by a 45-something.
Wow.
So he actually did something new there. So I have to go ahead and take a look at that. But yeah, wonderful people. Thank you so much for BSG Marathon for having me and my shenanigans throughout the week. And yeah, thank you to you two for sticking around, being absolute bros around here.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And any last shout outs from you?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
A pleasure.
Yeah. I don't know. Follow all of us on Twitch or something.
Yeah.
You know, that's a thing that
For
you
sure.
can do.
Keep the bros alive. Yeah.
Go play Super Onimusha Hills, the Evil Rising 3 Part 5 Iki Island expansion.
The prequel.
The prequel.
Next year, I have to have written it down somewhere because I will
Nightmare.
Anyway, this was all from us. Yeah, thanks for watching. Keep watching the marathon, and I hope we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Aeshmah, for that great Ghost of Tsushima run, for the expansion of Iki Island, at least. We're going to continue with Etienne playing Lithium City, a very fast-paced game. So
go watch Brotian.
If tech could change the screen, because they're getting very tired waving there. But we'll have a little intermission and set that up. See you guys soon.